chapters, number 8, the 5 hindrances, Pancha Nivarana. Today, the focus is on the obstacles and distractions that weakens wisdom and feeds avijja. Everyone who sits down to meditate experiences the scattered, distracting thoughts and various storylines. In Avarana Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 5.51, Lord Buddha explained these as hindrances that arise from fabricators' views of self. The 6 sense bases, outside objects and consciousness, arises together, and it is called phassa or contact, which condition 3 kinds of feelings, which are pleasurable feelings, sukha, unpleasurable feelings, dukkha, and neutral feelings, adukkhama sukha. These 3 types of feelings are rooted in greed, hatred, and delusion, lobha, dosa, and moha. All the distracting thoughts can be grouped under any of the above, the 3 unwholesome roots. In Avarana Sutta, Lord Buddha divides the hindrances into 5 categories. They are known as the 5 hindrances, which appear as distracting thoughts such as sensual desiring, anger or ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and over-anxiousness, and finally doubt. One has to discern them in one's own experience as they appear while meditating. Sensual desiring thoughts come up as wants. Thoughts of anger or ill will come up as don't wants. And dull and confused thoughts come up as who cares. The angry and desiring thoughts are easy to recognize, unlike the dull and confused thoughts, which are not readily noticeable because of their very nature. How hindrances affect wisdom? In Sangarava Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 3.6, a Brahmin, Sangavara, approaches Lord Buddha and explains his problem of not being able to master the hymns. Here, Lord Buddha explains how the 5 hindrances weaken wisdom and points that as the reason for his inability to master the hymns. Lord Buddha used 5 similes to explain how the hindrances weaken wisdom. Lord Buddha compared thoughts of sensual desire to a bowl of water with different colors. He went on to say that trying to see one's reflection in this bowl is an impossible task. He used the simile of the bowl of water to explain the other 4 hindrances, each in a different manner. Anger and ill will in a bowl of boiling water and steaming water. Sloth and torpor in a bowl of water that is covered with debris on top. Restlessness and over-anxiousness in a bowl of water that is stirred by strong wind. Doubt in a bowl of water that is mixed with mud and kept in a dark place. Lord Buddha used these 5 similes to let Sangarava know that the distracting thoughts were weak. Distracting thoughts weaken his wisdom, and that is why he cannot study. Here, Lord Buddha is showing us how important it is to know the 5 hindrances in order to follow the path to liberation. He shows how important it is to get rid of them. Temporary at first, tadanga pahana, through the development of Samadhi. What are the steps to reach Samadhi? In Avarana Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 5.51, Lord Buddha explains this development in 5 steps. Association with Kalyana Mitta, listening to Dhamma, retaining, analyzing, and practicing the Dhamma, developing wise attention, yoniso manasikara, learning to focus on one object. Example, breath meditation. As Samadhi develops, hindrances are suppressed temporarily, and instead the 5 jhana factors begin to develop. What are the 5 jhana factors? They are sustained and investigating mind, vitakka vichara, pleasures and joy, piti sukha, one-pointedness, ekaggata. In Avarana Sutta, Lord Buddha takes another simile of a river that is flowing with swiftly, carrying a load of debris along with it. Then someone builds 5 channels to divert the water to be used elsewhere. Consequently, the river loses the strong current and is no longer able to carry the debris as before. Similarly, if right attention, right understanding, and right mindfulness are absent, one is unable to notice the 5 hindrances as they occur. But one who develops right samadhi will overcome hindrances temporarily. As stated earlier in this letter, this is known as Tadanga Pahan. In Nibbana Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya 9.64, Lord Buddha explained how the hindrances are completely suppressed, Samucceda Pahana or Nisarana Pahana, using Anapanasati Bhavana to develop the 4 foundations of mindfulness. Using Dhammanupassana, discern impermanence, non-self, suffering of all the phenomena, all the Dhammata. In this matter, one can progress on the rightful path and get rid of all the defilements. In the next letter, we will be discussing mundane and supramundane happiness, sammisa and niramisa sukha.